Rutgers Medical School may be getting a big investment. China sends a two-man crew to space, and breaking news for Rowan University. All this coming up on this half hour of RTN News. Welcome to another episode of RTN News. I'm Summer Shiki.
And I'm Hassan Drame. And today, before we give you the latest in the local and national scene, we have Thomas Napoli here with some breaking news for Rowan University.
On Monday, October 17, 2016, Rowan University President Ali Hushman held a press conference in the Science Building at 11 a.m. The university proclaimed this big news and even had a countdown clock on their homepage. The big news was revealed to be a $25 million pledge to expand and preserve the Rowan University Fossil Park in Mantua Township, New Jersey. The money was a landmark gift from alumni Gene and Rick Edelman. With this donation, the Edelmans are hoping this will impact scientific discovery and science education for generations.
We're just excited to be continually associated with the university and to continue to be involved and to give back in a way that I think a lot of folks would really enjoy doing. So we hope that this inspires other alum and future graduates alike to support the university in big ways.
The Edelman's Fossil Park will now be known as Gene and Rick Edelman Fossil Park at Rowan University. For RTN News, I'm Thomas Napoli.
So $25 million, that is a lot to invest in something that big, don't you think?
Yeah, and they're going to make it like a visitor place, so a lot of people can visit it, and it's pretty cool, actually.
Will you be visiting?
I think I will.
Me too. Me too. And
now let's get started with our local and national news. New Jersey's largest hospital chain is planning to invest millions to help make Rutgers University's medical schools one of the Big Ten of research and educational institutions in the nation. Barry Ostrowski, CEO of RWJ Barnabas Health, a $5.4 billion 11-hospital network, announced that the launch will happen by July 1st. The school is hoping to attract high-profile researchers and to receive more funding from National Institutes of Health. Medical students from the university will be recruited to help with the research projects.
Pizza Hut and a manager who oversees restaurants in both Edison and South Plainfield, New Jersey, have come under fire in a lawsuit which accuses them of discrimination and retaliation in violation of federal and state laws. The suit, which was filed in September, says Karen Ryan, the manager, would often treat 3 Egyptian-American employees poorly, calling one of the employees' religion as stupid because he could not try a new product which contained pork. Ryan also made discriminatory remarks about Hispanic employees as well. When introduced to a shift manager named Segundo, she ridiculed the name and said, "We name people John and Jason. This is America," end quote. Pizza Hut and Ryan have yet to comment on the situation.
Workers for SEPTA have voted to strike on November 1st if an agreement isn't reached on a new contract. The Transport Workers Union Local 23 met Sunday morning to authorize the action. The current contract expires on October 31st. Issues include pensions, healthcare, and safety conditions. Officials say that the strike will only affect transportation in the city. It would not halt SEPTA's regional rail service. The Transport Authority are hopeful that agreement can be reached.
The American Cancer Society is making strides against breast cancer 5K walk, attracting more than 16,000 participants and raised more than $1 million in donations at Point Pleasant Beachfront this past Sunday. The American Cancer Society sponsored 6 walks that day and 8 altogether in the month of October. The month of October is also known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where over 7,000 women in New Jersey alone in 2016 have been diagnosed with breast cancer out of over 200,000 women in the country. With the attendance numbers in for the event, the walk turned out to be the largest breast cancer walk in the state. Rain or shine, let's go over to Shanti Pittman with the weather.
Thank you. Today is Sunday with a high of 81 and a low 63. On Wednesday, it will be mostly cloudy with a high 83 and a low 61. On Thursday, we can expect a thunderstorm and a few showers with a high 77 and a low 59. And on Friday, the rain will continue with a high 66 and a low 50. On the weekend, the rain will go away, but the clouds are here to stay, starting with Saturday with a high 57 and a low 41, continuing into Sunday with a high 58 and a low 41. The weather doesn't look that too bad this weekend.
This weather is
not
crazy
really.
though, because I feel like it was just cold last weekend.
And it's OD hot. Like,
it's crazy. It feels like the summertime out right now.
so crazy.
Yeah, we're like pushing 90 and it's like almost November, really.
I know.
Ooh, man, I cannot.
Well, coming up after the break, we'll have a wrap-up of this week's entertainment, so don't go away.
Can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Welcome back to RTN News. We're now going to go over to Alexa Carini with the latest in entertainment news.
Thank you guys. The Rowan Concert Band appeared last Thursday in Flieger Hall, playing an American-themed concert. The group performed 4 famous pieces, including Elegy for a Young American. The mournful song was a tribute to John F. Kennedy after his assassination. Following the intermission of the show, the Atlantic Brass Band also did some performing, welcoming some students as well as professors into the band. Remember, the Rowan Concert Band is just not for music majors, but anyone interested in being a part of the group. Into some local Philly news, guess which famous superhero writer just became a doctor? Stan Lee, the 93-year-old comic book legend, has just received an honorary doctorate award from the University of the Arts in Center City. Dr. Lee and creator of Marvel Comics accepted his nomination through video while answering questions from active students. So last week I mentioned to you guys to check out the Blocktoberfest on South Street, which was another year of major success. Beer proceeds alone have added up to $130,000 over the years. Remember, this money will be put into community and charitable causes. Well, this week I'm going to suggest something a little on the scary side. The Eastern State Penitentiary, a former American prison located in Philly, is a famous attraction this time of year. Take a tour to visit the eerie jail cells that are hundreds of years old, including the jail cell of American gangster Al Capone. So, it's a big creepy prison. So what? Question is it really haunted? Nearly 60 paranormal investigation teams have studied the penitentiary, capturing evidence that ghosts truly lurk behind the stone walls of the abandoned building. If you can't take my word for it, visit easternstatepenitentiary.org. You can check out some videos and audio clips of captured paranormal activity. If you dare to visit, online prices range from $19 to $45, depending per night which you go to attend. If nighttime's too scary for you, you can always check out the landmark in the daytime from 10 to 5 p.m. Oh, and now let's hear from Mavish with an inside look at entertainment.
This week, we went to Rowan University's art gallery and saw their newest exhibition called The Sharp Divide by artist Dred Scott. The exhibition has pieces of his work from over the past 20 years that focuses on the issue of mass incarceration, particularly in the African American community.
Dred Scott considers himself an activist artist, so his work does focus on human rights issues, particularly those human rights violations that are targeted to the African American community.
Scott is an interdisciplinary artist, so he uses different techniques to explore his subjects, such as photographs, video, spoken word, and community engagement. For example, there is an audience engagement piece where there is a photograph that has a political statement on it. People are encouraged to respond to the statement in a book and then take a copy of the photograph with them.
The thing you'll come upon is a fake prison booth, phone booth, where visitors might go to talk to their family member that's incarcerated. On the phone is an actual recording that the artist created. He wrote the dialogue and and expressed it in the manner that might be similar to slam poetry or rap or other forms of spoken word.
That's how much I used to hate myself and hate other black people. But see, when I was in prison, I transformed. I was steeled in the fire of this system. I met the hardest of the hard. I used to think think that being a man was about being a Mac, you know, being a player. But now I ain't into all that. What I need, and what people will really respect.
The show will be up until November 7th, and it is free to the public. The gallery is located on 301 High Street in Glassboro. I'm Mavish Khan, reporting for RTN News.
Oh, great job by Mavish, right?
The journalism building always has like a bunch of galleries, so it's cool to check out sometimes.
Yeah, it's really nice that they gave an entire building to the art department.
Yeah, and they're always there, so you can check out any galleries that they have, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. Coming up next, we give you some more on the local and national scene. Stay tuned.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org. It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to RTN News. Here's the last local story for today. A pair of 7-Eleven employees were beaten by two angry customers this past Saturday in Brick, New Jersey over a dispute of shortchanging $20. One clerk suffered from a severe head injury when having his head struck on the corner of the store safe. The other clerk, who tried to intervene on his coworker's behalf, was also assaulted. Police identified the two as 18-year-old Gianna Boza and 22-year-old Shamil Hawkins from Jackson and Brick, respectively. A customer got the license plate of the white SUV the pair departed in and reported it to the authorities. Police say that the two turned themselves in on Sunday after a warrant of their arrest was made on charges of aggravated assault and endangering an injured victim.
China launches a two-man crew into space on Sunday night. The Long March 2F booster lifted off from China's Gobi Desert at 7:30 p.m. The space shuttle is planned to stay for a month on the Heavenly Palace Station module. It's the third time Jing Heping, the mission's commander, has been on a spaceflight, and the first for Chen Dong, the flight engineer. The goal of the mission is to carry out experiments that will help China create their largest multi-module space station. This is the country's sixth and longest piloted spaceflight to date. Feeling a little under the weather lately, Sarah Rankins has your weekly health check.
Thanks, guys. It is cold and flu season, and the more you know about avoiding getting sick, the better. Here are some tips from Rowan's very own wellness center to beat the germs. Of course, one of the most beneficial yet most disliked preventions is getting the flu vaccine. This is a quick solution to avoiding the bed-binding virus influenza. Rowan's Wellness Center offers flu shots every fall and winter upon appointment, so schedule yours today. Other preventions include washing your hands with antibacterial soap, avoiding sharing drinks, and last but not least, simply stay home if you are feeling under the weather. It will keep the people around you out of harm's way as well as make you feel better. It has been recorded that about 1/3 of all college students smoke cigarettes, a very high number given the known side effects, which include lung cancer, discoloration of teeth and nails, emphysema, and more. Now studies have shown that smoking can even scar your DNA. A study of 16,000 people found that while most of the disease-causing genetic footprints left by smoking fade after 5 years of quitting, some appear to stay forever. The marks are made by a process called methylation, which is an alteration of DNA that can inactivate a gene. In other words, these marks can change how your body's internal makeup works, causing cancer and other diseases. Quitting definitely has its benefits, even late in life. However, it doesn't wipe the slate clean. So next time you are offered to try smoking for the first time, remember the long-term effects. Jumping down to the southern tip of our country, 1 square mile in Miami, Florida has been found to carry the Zika virus. At this time, Florida remains the only U.S. state with verified transmission of the deadly virus, causing birth defects, fatigue, fever, sweating, and more. Miami Beach also has an ongoing outbreak, even though the first signs of Zika was declared over an intensive anti-mosquito spraying campaign. This state is a popular destination for many college students for spring break, so it is asked to do your research before traveling to Florida or any other previously affected areas to check out the status of the Zika virus. Health experts say that the best way to prevent this infection is to use mosquito repellent, covering up, and staying inside as much as possible. There is no vaccine for the Zika virus at this time.
So that Zika, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious.
I'm not traveling to Florida for spring break now.
I definitely need to change my plans now.
Yeah, because that's scary. Not a lot of people actually wear mosquito repellent, so it's pretty scary that you can catch it and
you would never even know until maybe it's too late, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Oh, I got mosquito repellent. Mosquitoes give me, I can't stand them. They're annoying. They're annoying little pests.
Well, then you'll be safe from the Zika.
And that's what it's all about, safety. And now we head over to Leon Purvis with the latest in the political scene.
Rowan University Democratic Club is canvassing for Democratic congressional candidate of NJ 2nd District, Dave Cole.
Well, we're here with some friends who are going to do some canvassing for us. I think you can ask for one of these people.
Cole's approach of getting the word out about his run for Congress is, as he put it, very grassroots.
So the way our campaign runs, it's very grassroots, very volunteer driven. People come out, they knock on doors of neighbors, they make phone calls, they meet friends at events and do house parties, and that's how we spread the word.
Cole's opponent is Republican incumbent Frank Lobiondo.
My opponent's been in office for 22 years. That's as long as most people around here, probably on the campus, will remember our representative being in office. And I think it's time for someone new to get in there with some new ideas and some changes. I want to break from the special interest money in politics, break from the negative and downward trends that we've seen in South Jersey, and focus on rebuilding our economy here.
As for Rowan University, Cole talks about a train from campus to Philly.
Here in Rowan, there's actually plans to get a train station, a light rail that connects Rowan into the Camden and Philadelphia metro area. And that's a plan that the federal government should be supporting. We should be able to get the money to get that done, because it's going to open up the growth in Philadelphia to South Jersey and open up the opportunities there for students here in Rowan.
Cole believes student loan interest should be as low as Wall Street banks.
I think the first thing we need to do for students is lower the interest rates. I think students should get the same interest rates Wall Street banks get. Right now, students on their federal loans are getting something like 7.5%, while Wall Street banks get 1%. Then you need to allow people who have the loans out to refinance.
As November 8th gets closer, Democratic congressional candidate Dave Cole will continue to campaign for the NJ 2nd District spot. I'm Leon Purvis for Rowan, RTN News.
Coming up after the break, we have the latest in national news.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Welcome back. On Sunday night, Democrats from all over raised $13,167 in an effort to rebuild the North Carolina GOP office, which had been firebombed over the weekend. The ones to blame for the vandalism have yet to be identified. Molotov cocktails were thrown at the windows of the front building, according to statements. The group of Democrats who started the GoFundMe campaign to raise money had the original goal set at $10,000, but instead, they had surpassed the goal by well over $3,000, and all this had been done within a few hours of the page going live. Some of the donors left a message along with the gift, such as donor Vivian Vaca, adding, quote, "This is an act of terror that is an attack on all of us. In moments like these, there's no partisanship. We're all Americans. We all stand by you," end quote.
Thousands of people marched in Paris to protest against same-sex marriage law. Authorities estimated the crowd at 24,000, while organizers gave a figure of 200,000. There were also protests against assisted reproduction techniques and surrogate mothers to help same-sex couples have babies. The group organizing the march promotes the traditional family model of a father and a mother. They hope to influence the debate before the next presidential campaign. The 2013 law allowing gay marriage created a division in the French society and has caused major protests, such as this one.
In a matter of 3 seconds, a clumsy customer damaged more than $6,000 worth of TVs in an electronics store in St. Austell, England on September the 29th, according to reports. HBH Wolcott's Electronics posted a surveillance video of a man accidentally knocking down 2 pairs of large flat screen TVs onto his YouTube channel on Thursday. While some viewers intentionally found the video to be funny, some claim that it was staged. The store assistant manager, Mike Collins, told reporters that his employees were devastated when it happened. It's not clear whether the man had to pay damage costs for the TVs, but they have now sent off the TVs for repairs.
North Korea says it will use nuclear weapons on the U.S. if necessary. The country has warned that it may carry out further tests and is prepared to strike the U.S. if they are threatened. Kim Jong-un, North Korea's leader, is known for making such claims ever since he took power after his father's death in 2011. U.S. officials do not believe that North Korea has the technology to reach the continental U.S. Next up, we have Steven Rodriguez with an update on Rowan sports.
Thanks, Summer. The Rowan University women's soccer team picked up their 14th shutout victory of the season with a 4-0 victory over visiting Rutgers Newark. Midfielder Morgan Myers opened the scoring just under 5 minutes into the game after a shot came off the crossbar. Then with just 36 seconds remaining before the break, forward Lauren Coletti gave the Profs a 2-goal advantage. With the win, the 14th ranked Profs moved their record to 14-0-1 overall and 6-0-1 in the conference. Over in women's volleyball, Rowan suffered a pair of 3-0 losses in a tri-match at Stevenson University on Saturday, falling to Bethany College and the host Mustangs. For Bethany College, the Bisons were led by twin outside hitters Delana and Dakota McKenzie, who had 11 kills apiece. Setter Allie Powell also totaled 38 assists and 5 digs for the Bisons. For the Profs, outside hitters Megan Jacoby and Kaylee Gallagher recorded 6 and 5 kills respectively for Rowan. In the second match versus Stevenson University, outside hitter Annika Schwartz led the charge for the Mustangs with 10 kills and 7 digs. Outside hitter Lauren Weaver added 8 kills of her own in the victory, and for Rowan, outside hitter Erica O'Hagan registered 8 kills and 5 digs. Megan Jacoby produced again with 7 digs and 6 kills of her own, while defensive specialist Rebecca D'Antonio compiled 14 digs for the Profs. Rowan is now 7-17 on the season. The Bisons are 18-11, and Stevenson is 20-7. In Rowan football news, the Rowan University football team moved up 3 spots to number 21 in this week's D3.com Top 25 poll. The Profs picked up their 3rd consecutive victory with a 17-7 win at Southern Virginia University on Saturday. Rowan now returns home to face Wesley College this Saturday and hopes to claim sole possession of first place in the NJAC. Now we head over to Eric Conklin with this week's volleyball update.
The Rowan women's volleyball team suffered a loss Thursday, October 13th, when they faced off against their cross South Jersey rivals from Stockton University. The girls entered the game tonight with a record of 7-14, while Stockton's record was at 16-7. Tough breaks by the net cost the girls this game and are looking to rebound after this loss next week. Thursday's loss to Stockton University was a tough break for the women's volleyball team, who are looking to add to their win column this season with just a 7-14 record entering the match. Stockton came out on fire in the first set, limiting the Rowan Profs to just 5 points. However, tight offense from Rowan made it a close first set after coming back to tie the set at 19. However, good defensive play and offensive play pushed the Stockton Ospreys above Rowan 25-19. Stockton's offense didn't stop there as they continued to be in front of Rowan all night, handing Rowan 2 additional losses by scores of 25-15 in the second set and 25-9 in the third set. Rowan now falls to a struggling 2-7 record at home, and their percentage column now stands at .318. And it was a tough loss here tonight at the Rowan Gymnasium. The Rowan University women's volleyball team now moves to 7-15 on the season, while Stockton moves to 17-7. Rowan University will look to add to their win column next week with games against Stevenson University, Ramapo College, and the United States Coast Guard Academy. Here at the Rowan Gymnasium, I'm Eric Conklin from Channel 5 RTN News.
So, I mean, the volleyball team's not having a great season, but, I mean, the other Rowan teams are really showing up. I wasn't much of a volleyball player, but I'm sure, you know, they're doing their best out there.
Yeah, they got a couple wins. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I suppose everyone in our athletic department is doing some type of balling, right?
You got to ball out. I mean, at least for the Prof Pride, you know what I mean?
Prof Pride, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Gold and brown.
Let's go to Dino Arantulis with this week's Rowan Opinion.
The 2016-2017 NFL season is already well underway. In this week's episode of the Rowan Opinion Report, I want to know, what teams in the NFL do students here in Rowan University cheer for?
I love the Dallas Cowboys. We're America's team.
Baltimore Ravens.
The Indianapolis Colts.
I like the New York Giants.
New York Giants.
Philadelphia Eagles.
The Miami Dolphins.
Well, my dad grew up in South Carolina in the 70s, and back then there were no teams in the South besides, you know, the Cowboys and the Falcons, and the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls during the course of my dad's childhood, so I grew up a Cowboys fan.
Well, my father was a Ravens fan, so being in a Ravens household, that's where you grew up, being a Ravens fan.
Yeah, I just grew up watching them, and
Well, I grew up with my family liking the Giants, so...
Yeah, I've always grown up watching them. My dad's a fan, so, you know, I just became a fan.
yeah, hometown team, really close to them. My dad watches them, they like them.
Yeah, when I was 6, my mom and dad brought me down to Florida on vacation, and I went to Miami Dolphins football game. And when I started really getting into football, I just started watching them because that was the first game I've ever been to.
Well, I don't think the Cowboys are the best team, but this year we're looking pretty good. Dak Prescott's looking great, and I'm a big Ezekiel Elliott fan. People tell me I look like Zeke, too.
Black and purple's best colors and good defense. Offense is getting better.
I don't think they're the best team in the NFL right now, but they're my favorite, so you got to stick with them.
You know, I just grew up watching Eli Manning, and I always had a lot of respect for both him and his brother, so I just like watching a family of winners.
I like the passing attack, like the quarterback, like Odell Beckham Jr.
The fans are the best, you know, the team's really good.
I'm not sure if they're the best team in the NFL right now, but we have a lot of young guys that are like really good. We're on the up and coming right now. We're still not there yet, though.
In speaking to students here at Rowan University, I couldn't really find too many Eagles fans. So I came up with the consensus that Rowan University is not an Eagles nest, but it could be anything. This is Dino Arantulis for the Rowan Opinion Report for RTN News.
So who's your favorite sports team?
I am a Colts fan. That's an NFL team. Right now we're not doing too well, but you know, at worst comes to shove, we can, you know, restock in the off season. We'll get some nice draft picks and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to the process.
That's good. Well, I'm definitely an Eagles fan because, you know.
Eagles? Oh, you bleed green?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They're doing pretty good, but they lost last Sunday, so.
The Minnesota Vikings are next. That's going to be a tough one.
Well, hopefully they do good. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to RTN News. I'm Summer Shiki.
And I'm Hassan Drame. Like always, stay golden.
Yeah, shuffle your papers and benches. Yeah, we did pretty good today.
Yeah.